Hello there. Can you hear me? Sorry, my normal yeah, my normal intro is kind of broken tonight. For reasons that will be apparent soon. So, no intro, no music. Um so uh apologies for the jump scare start. um yeah, so at least I have the chat on the screen. Hello, Wiley Sate. I I had some kind of major technical. They weren't really. They were partially intentional technical issues. I basically um, was redoing my network, and the reason was so I could. Yeah, everything's messed up though, so it's going to be a little bit challenging at times. But the reason was I was finally trying to get the network better for the Seestars. And I somewhat accomplished that, I think. Yeah. So let me. The problem is my normal push button to switch scenes isn't working right now. So we'll do this. Hopefully this will work. Will this work? Yeah, that worked. Okay. So the let's see. It should be a lot more responsive tonight. Basically, I moved um, one wireless access point to another part of the house, and I kind of did some punch down block networking stuff that I haven't done in years. The only problem I've run into tonight is the um, the Seestars were kind of I'm I'm working on some new code, and so as part of that, I'm testing out some things. So we'll see if this actually works. But yeah, yeah, live view is working well for you, but I have some local changes that I might have broken some things, so I'm trying to figure that out. So there might be some live coding tonight, unintentionally, just to get things working. Yeah, so I have it like in full debug mode. I have the latest and greatest code, and then some local changes I have. But one thing that is the Wi-Fi signal's much better, much better. Typically, I was getting, I don't know, 70, 80 dB. I don't even remember. Like, I would never see numbers this low. But the access point that these are connected to now is downstairs and just on the other side of the wall from the telescope. So let's see if this. Oh yeah, I had yeah yeah the oh hello Joe V, welcome. The movement button is gone when I'm actively imaging. That was intentional. That was, I mean, just pointing that out just because it was too easy to accidentally move it while I was imaging, which could really mess things up. And yeah, my Wi-Fi is good, but the problem is I'm now having other problems. So, hold on a second. I need to sorry, things were kind of chaotic this evening. So why isn't it loading? I'm just wondering if it's a change I made. Yeah, yeah, it's and actually the Cygnus loop is something I wanted to image if I could get this working. So let me stop this. I've been actually using Bruno. It got that got that way too. Stop view, body, and stop that. And so this should go to continuous exposure. It should, if this was the one I actually did it against. Oh, right. This doesn't actually do what I expect it to do. So I have to go pick this option and then that. Okay. 5 minutes of data per panel. But it's a good test of autofocus per panel. Yeah. There were some issues related to that, weren't there? The autofocus per panel. And what's the state of this one? Okay, they're both stopped. Why is this save 3-point alignment? Is that even right? Is it confused? No, it was confused. Okay. Okay. Yeah, updated. Oh, right, because there was an issue where the autofocus failed quickly, I think. But so why? What did I do? What did I do to my my code here? Now, one thing I have added that's new and I haven't checked in yet is it actually does. This doesn't do anything really, but the autofocus actually does work. It actually does trigger. Exposure doesn't do anything. Record doesn't do anything, but autofocus actually will trigger an autofocus. But I've been trying to rethink how I want to do this screen, because the problem is a lot of the other screens don't update very frequently. Like you go to the screen and it might refresh every few seconds, but it doesn't need to be kind of real time. And this really needs to be more interactive. Now, the telescope control here, it triggers every few seconds. Or what it does is it gets the position and then it sends once a second an update to the telescope telling it to kind of move a direction or not. And it's the moment you let go of it, it immediately sends out an update saying stop, to try to make it as responsive as possible. But that was kind of a hassle getting that. And really, I want the same kind of responsiveness for focus, because like if you're manually kind of messing with the focus, well, it's not quite exactly the same, because I'm going to do I'm not going to do this slider. I'm going to do an up down button, but you want it to immediately, you want feedback immediately with like the focus point, and the way it's currently working. I need to think about that. And the same thing with exposure. I want it to be very responsive. And so unfortunately that requires, I'm trying to avoid doing JavaScript in here, for those who've looked at the code. Anyway, let me look at my list, because I actually had started a list of things I wanted to look at. And I think I might do another live stream tomorrow evening, but because it's Sunday, it won't be super late. But one thing that the live stream tomorrow probably won't have this, the intro either, and the outro. But the next time I do one, I'll probably have the network in a better state where I'll be able to, because right now, I actually, the way I got it working is I had an access point here, kind of where I sit here, and the telescopes were connecting to it. And I didn't have a live network jack downstairs, and I fixed that. And so I just actually lifted the access point and put it down there. The problem was I had other stuff plugged into it, and I overcomplicated things, of course. The network that was running kind of all my all the telescope stuff, was like a separate network. And so the telescopes are still on that separate network, but the thing that does the part of what the component I'm using for like the intro and outro switched networks. And so now I kind of can't trigger it correctly because I think it had a fixed IP address. Anyway, it's a mess. Maybe I'll get it fixed by tomorrow, but in the meantime, yeah. Yeah, the plus minus instead of the slider, that's probably what I'm going to end up doing, or kind of like two series of buttons where it'll be a plus minus and one will go by a higher increment and one by a lower. Yeah, and all the new buttons. I mean, the problem is it's still not perfect. Well, not that it's going to be perfect, but it still has some issues here. So I'd been messing around with kind of making this more responsive. The problem is it's still possible to get it where it's kind of off the screen. But then like when you compress it, like these kind of the groupings end up messing up, and so like this button overflows. But I kind of went and just added icons onto a bunch of these and just try to group them to try to you know neaten it up a little bit. It's been raining a lot here lately, and so there's only certain things I can test, but I can do UI changes while it's raining. So that's what I'd been doing. Now I need to figure out what I was going to image tonight and actually try to start imaging it, and also try to figure out why this isn't working. The good thing is I had come up with a list of targets to try out tonight, and most of them are either they're still up, they're still in a position where I can image them at least until midnight, and some other ones that I can image but only after like 10 p.m. So I'm still good. I feel like I'm behind, but I'm not. So I'm going to actually I actually might start with the veil just to try to get that going. The only problem is the mosaic I had previously created that I'm going to just reuse isn't it's with the old format, and so it fails to import. So I'm just going to manually fix that off screen and fix that. And let me bring this off screen to try to but what I might end up doing is, if this ends up having an issue, I might stop and restart the SSC software more than once, just to try to I forgot, I can't actually do what I wanted to do. That's fine. So I'm probably going to stop and start it, but just because to try to fix or figure out what the issues are. Plus, I had made some changes related to star versus the stacking view versus the continuous preview mode. And the problem is I haven't been able to test it because it's been raining. So I might end up doing some minor code fixes, hopefully. I'm not going to get too carried away, but so let me go. Is it actually, oh, and the other thing that I ran into last time, I hadn't cleared off the space. So, I did at least do that this time. So it's got one right ascension, and I hope this is right. I'm only doing the one of the veil. I'm not doing the whole Cygnus loop. I may have said I was going to do the whole Cygnus loop, but I'm not yet, until I figure out this issue. And I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this, and so I don't, it's actually Veil. Actually, it's NGC 6992. And I always forget to do the label. So just quickly, that's one thing that would be nice is if we could define a mosaic. Well, actually, so this came up recently in the Discord server that it would be nice for people who have more than one Seestar. It doesn't help most people, but if you have more than one Seestar, it would be nice to be able to specify a mosaic like this once and then have it divide up the panels across the Seestars automatically. And there was a bunch of kind of discussion about it and trying to figure out the best place to put it. But yeah, so let me do this, J2000, and I'm going to do, I'll do 3600. 3600, and I'll do light pollution filter, light pollution filter. Okay, so killing time until 11 when triangle rises. Yeah, I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I had some technical issues in the beginning, but cosmic ray, but I'm getting there. So I'm just making sure everything is fine. Light pollution. Making sure that I specify that. Oh, hey, Cheap Astro, how's it going? Thanks for joining. I'm just getting started. I'm kind of behind a bit. Okay, 1x2. I think these are good. So I'm going to go ahead and try that. Hopefully that'll work. And I'm just going to go, I'm going to start this and submit this and start this. And then hopefully this will, one other thing you may have noticed, I have this little loading so the screens don't go blank anymore. That's another local change I've been kind of testing out, but I think it's had some other kind of side effects that I need to work through. Oh, want close to go away button. I mean, I'm with you. I've had, I think the last live stream I did was like a week and a half ago or more, because it's been raining here, and I have like tonight and tomorrow night, and then sometime Monday clouds come back in, and there's like a tropical disturbance off the coast, so it's going to rain, perhaps a decent amount, so hopefully it won't flood. Iris Nebula, but now it's hazed over. That's too bad, but that's Iris Nebula. That's cool. Okay, auto go to. Oh, look at that, 45, minus 45 dB. That is unheard of for me. The reason I'm kind of leaving it on this screen, well, actually, let me go ahead and try the live view on one of them. So this is on telescope 2. So we'll see if this actually, it's doing the 3-point alignment. So I need to adjust the focus on this all sky camera. But it's, see, I think this is having problems. Like there's almost too much output here. Let me move this without making too much noise, hopefully. Now, I actually, as part of redoing all the wiring, the Raspberry Pi that I was running running the Seestar Alp SSC software on is actually downstairs now. But because I have tried to keep, I've I've tried to only I've tried to stick with images that I've burned onto it and not updated the software in place, because I want to make sure it's kind of a way of forcing me to make sure I keep the image up to date. And I haven't updated it with the latest of the live view functionality. Actually, it might not even have live view at all. And so I've kind of I'm running this locally. So maybe not tomorrow, but maybe the following time I'll actually have everything kind of in a better state, where I'm running a semi-stable version on the Raspberry Pi. And yeah, but we'll see. Yeah, it's the logs are something that need to be taken care of. And it bothers me that this isn't. Oh, wait. What is this even imaging? That can't be the right thing. Or is that the last stack that it was doing? I hope it's not the last stack, because that could be really messed up if so. Okay, so let's see what the state is now. Still auto. Yeah, things are not working as they should. Another thing I added locally was, I think I only have it locally. I don't think I committed that code. It was more, the back end is more aggressive about kind of keeping the last image in memory. So when you hit reload, it shows you the latest. But yeah, it says it's stacking. There's something weird going on here. I might have to already restart things. And that's another thing, that sometimes it goes offline and then it'll say idle and then the control comes back, and that's not right. I need to, there's some instability there. And see, look, now it claims that the telescopes are offline. I don't know if other people are having it or it's just something I ended up doing to my local copy, but it's something I need to sort out either way, because that's not great that it will just go offline. Okay. Oh, what just happened? That's interesting. That's really interesting. Yeah. I don't know if people can see me right now, but my computer just lost its Wi-Fi. For some reason. Yeah. It's very strange. Hold on a second. Everything's just going wrong. Okay. Let's see. Oh boy. I don't know if my stream went out because my computer lost its connection to the network, but I'm not streaming from this computer, luckily. Let's see. Yeah. What's interesting is sometimes it'll mention that it's having some problems with the wait, what did it say? There was like an error in there. No error. What? The error is no error. Well, that makes sense. It is really confused. Let me restart that. Maybe I got confused when my network went down. Hold on a second. Yeah. Anyway, okay, let's see if this is working. Okay, this came back. And then this is running, supposedly. But why isn't it updating the image? I feel like it's something I did with the like it appears that it's working. Unless I actually don't see. Let me look at the code here. Gonna do a live fix here, maybe. This is really unfortunate. What is going on here? Okay. I have to restart my. Yeah, it's very strange. It's this is I mean the good it's funny, the network is working much better, but everything else is terrible. Because this is not, but everything that's blue is code that I've changed or files that I've changed. Exposure mode. Maybe I'll just get image, get frame. Oh yeah. Image is not null. Actually, this is the code that deals with the cache code, so I'm just gonna stop that and we'll try this again. It alleges that it's imaging, but I may have to turn off this. This is too much, the debug mode. Let's try this again. And actually, what was it? There's a line where it says, maybe I'll just make this. Let's see. Let's see if this works. Okay. Read image. Okay. There's something. Okay, nice. Okay, one of them finally came back. Now why is it squashed? Yeah, obviously the some of that logic isn't functional, so I might have to I'll have to work on that at some point. Okay. Now what about the other one? No, because I stopped and restarted these more than once. The schedule is gone, but it's working. So yeah, so I've got a simple little mosaic in progress. The only thing I need to figure out though is um, why it's having that problem, why that extra logic is causing problems. Let me respond to something here. Yeah. Okay. I had to reload my chat because I hadn't actually seen any updates, and I'm like, that's okay. That's good. Yeah. So yeah, it's interesting because my laptop completely fell off the network for a bit there. Yeah. Yeah. Instability. Yeah. And commitment issues. Um, that's interesting. Plate solve failed. How are the conditions there? Are they, is it hazy or something? Um, yeah, hold on a second. Okay. Anyway, yeah, so that's good. Now I need to figure out why the code. And unfortunately, like I said, I'm not able to test this out, or haven't been able to test any of these changes I made. Where it, I've also added extra error checking because it was having issues where sometimes the the image that would come down was corrupt, and it would end up failing and then getting in a bad state. But let me see. Actually, let me change this to so we can see how many. It's interesting. This one had a lot more drop frames. I don't know about this elapsed time thing. Let me see. Total elapsed time. Oh, let's see. I want to change front. What was it? Elapsed. Oh, it's time delta milliseconds. Right. And really, what is the syntax for that? Let me see. I always forget how to do this. So I go s equals. So if I go test, is it -3? Yeah. So if you can set it to, you set it to all of like a long string, this will return everything except the last 3 characters. So I'll do that, and then nope. Nope. That should have done it, because I took the string, unless total elapsed time. Weird. Okay, I'll have to look at that. But what else? Let me see. Is that the right syntax? Very strange. Anyway, so yeah, and see this loading state. I was trying to avoid that with this. What was it? Loading. Let's see. What was it? It's there was some code in here where oh no, it's in the, sorry, it's here where it will go frame, what was it? Where it just was figuring out blank frame. So for some reason, that should work. I'm just gonna put that back. Okay. Let's see. And see, this is weird. Why does it say the telescope's offline? I feel like there's something going on where it's not properly recovering. And I don't know if this is just a me problem with multiple Seestars, or if this is a more common issue. Oh. What do you call it? Where was it? Yeah. Oh. And it says it's offline again, which is not correct. Now it says both of them are offline. It's very strange. Well, let's see if maybe I need to focus on fixing that issue. And again, I don't know if this is a me problem or... Okay. It's starting up. Okay. The problem is there's multiple things involved here. You have the API, you have the imaging API, and then you have the web server itself, and the web front end, and something is getting confused. And then that's fine, because the way the imaging thread works, if it's in preview mode or it's stacking mode, it ends up connecting and disconnecting. I mean, it basically requests the stacked image and then it disconnects, and then the next stack it does the same thing. Kind of like a web request where the browser fetches something and that disconnects. It's not giving me any of these connect errors, of course, but this says it's offline. But why? And I think I have this theory that something internally is failing and it's not producing an error, or it's lost in the noise. And the thing that fails, like there's multiple threads, there's multiple little processes that run at the same time. And if one of them fails, it may not get restarted. So I'm wondering if that's part of the problem. And why is it disconnecting and connecting twice? That seems suspicious. But it's not giving the API errors, which is weird. Good night, Jovi. Hey, Seiko. So you're having... Oh, the Seestar app, the one from ZWO, or this you're having disconnects with. Yeah. Okay. Hold on a second. Yeah. Had a snafu with a delivery to the house. And hold on a second. And yes, I'll let me see. Okay. Hold on. Hold on. All right. Yeah, so it's very strange. It's not getting these API failures this time, or that where it says it's not able to, where it's offline. It's not doing that now, of course, because I'm like staring at it. But let me pull this off screen and see if it... So I hit a reload and I'm looking at the logs off screen to see if it has the same issue. It's very strange. But it seems to not be disconnecting, which is, again, very odd. And sometimes you'll see it, like the button lose its highlight, and that's because it's trying to get the current state from the server or from the back end, and it ends up not being able to get it in a timely fashion, and so it doesn't think it's doing anything. It thinks it's idle, and so like the button will flicker. That's another thing that this is why this is still experimental, because these are the kinds of stability things I feel like we need to resolve, because it doesn't make for a very good experience. But then again, like I say, it might be a me problem. I don't know if other people have these kind of problems. But of course now it seems to be running, and we're up to almost 100 valid frames, so that's good. Um, and if Cosmic Ray is still there, I saw that the um, uh, YouTube channel that you had recommended previously, that he had another live stream the other day. I guess he had been having, I don't know, maybe he had weather issues or something, but I saw he had one the other day. It's actually, things have been so bad here recently that I've been, it costs too much money, but I was like, it would be nice to have a remote telescope so I could like do something on these kind of nights. But I don't want to, like, you can, there's services where you can rent kind of someone else's telescope, or like the company's telescope that offers the service, but I'd rather do my own telescope. But I know, who is it? I know, I think Wiley Site said someone had actually taken a Seestar, and they were running it remotely at one of those facilities, which would be kind of interesting, especially if the skies are much darker. But I feel like it would be nice to have one, yeah, for times like this where I was having a lot of issues. And speaking of issues, I don't understand why this isn't having any. I mean, it's good. I shouldn't complain, but it is interesting that it's not, that the stacking isn't failing, or that it's not going offline. Like, looking at this, it's not getting those offline errors. Yeah, ZWO, that's interesting. Seiko, have you updated the firmware on yours, or are you still running an older one? Because I'm still running like the one, whatever firmware was with the 1.x version. Yeah, I need to watch that channel again. Cosmic Ray, the STLS. Um, but yeah, one thing that came up recently, uh, you know, for doing these kind of, I can do a 2 panel mosaic, but I can't show. Um, Hello, my daughter was has joined the chat. um, yeah, it could devolve into total anarchy here. Not because of yeah. Oh, and then that code change I made, for some reason it wasn't working, but now it's working, so fine. Now it's not showing those extra 3 decimal places for milliseconds, which was kind of unnecessary. Actually, milliseconds is probably unnecessary, but yeah, it came up on a channel or in Discord that for doing these kind of mosaics, I should have and also for development, I should have a third Seestar maybe. And then I was like, well, I want to upgrade my astronomy camera on my kind of one of my telescopes, and I also want to get it set up where I can live stream that as well. And so maybe I'll see how many telescopes I can live stream at the same time. Of course, I need to have the network stable. I need to have everything more stable. I need to be more stable. Um, well, that might be an impossible task, but yeah. So this is kind of working fine. Let's see what it looks like. Now, supposedly there were going to be clouds coming in at one point tonight, just briefly, or more clouds, like some level of clouds. But let's see what it says. Yeah, okay. Originally it was saying like 10 p.m. Now it's looking like more like 1 in the morning. And even then it's 40% cloud, so who knows? Like sometimes it won't say anything and there'll be clouds, and other times it'll, yeah. Okay, so you have the latest version. bring out bring out the dad jokes. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not in the right frame of mind right now for dad jokes, but I'll have to keep that in mind for uh watching an ad on my own dad's. Oh boy. That's that's rough. Getting getting an ad. I'm just who was it? I was talking to somebody and they were watching a video and there was an ad on the video, but it was for the same video, the same person they were watching. Maybe it was from a different channel, but like the ad that rolled, and it wasn't like it wasn't an in-stream ad. It was a YouTube ad for the same person on the stream. Like I don't know, that doesn't seem like something they should do. Like it sounds like YouTube got its wires crossed or something for them to roll an ad for the stream you're watching. That seems maybe I should do that just to confuse, have an ad, like run an ad for my channel and then have it run during my streams. Just to, I don't know. No dad jokes right now in my mind. Yeah. So okay. So good things. The skies are clear. So that is running. Now let me look at what I was going to look at next. Because there were some things I wanted to image that what do you call it? The Veil Nebula is visible from my backyard for hours. It's nice and high in the sky right now, but there's some things I wanted to image tonight that are kind of in this narrow trench, not trench, but canyon between two buildings. And so it's only visible, things are only visible for like half an hour to an hour. And I need to make sure that I don't miss when they become visible. Um, where's the, where's the special treatment? Sorry. Um, I think I've gotten installed. Okay. I am actually kind of curious. Yeah, that would be helpful. And are you using Astroberry itself, um, or are you using kind of a new image with the same software that is on the Astroberry image, like a more up to date OS with the Astroberry software? I mean, either way, that could be helpful. And I actually was thinking if the Astroberry, um, if it takes a while for the Astroberry image to get updated, just for my own purposes, I was thinking of creating another image um, for the Raspberry Pi with the Seestar software, but also like Stellarium and maybe a few other things. Okay, okay, cool. Yeah, yeah. I'm curious which software, like which software did you end up installing on it? Because I know like you were talking about Stellarium, but like K-Stars, was that one of them? Um, but let me see. Um, Let me look at my list here. Uh, oh, okay. The things I was going to image. Oh, yeah. Let me look at this. Let me bring up Stellarium. Okay. Got Stellarium. And all right. I was actually going to try Pluto again. I know. Oh, it is supposedly visible. I think. Yeah. I am tempted to just stop the telescopes and or stop the imaging with stop what it's imaging now and switch one of them to Pluto. And I mean, it's gotten almost 20 minutes of data. This one, for some reason, needs to update. I mean, the image is relatively up to date, but see, it goes to the state where it says idle, and that's not correct. And see, look, this is what I was talking about, where it says the API is offline, which is not, I mean, and it's, I said there was kind of the command API, there's the imaging API, and then there's stuff related to the web interface. And the imaging API is working because like the images are updating, but for some reason the command API is offline. Or it's not offline, it's maybe just locked up. Let me look at something here. Let me make a change here to device, app. Is this the one? Thread. Okay, Seestar device. Okay, let me log.info heartbeat and let's see, self.logger.info receive. Okay, I mean, this isn't ideal, but it's maybe a little easier to kind of pick out of the logs. So you've got K-stars, ASTAP, PhD2, and fire capture. Okay. Yeah, I'm kind of curious how you what if there was anything you had to do to get that working. Okay, so I'm going to stop these images once they've loaded. And it almost immediately, Telescope 1 API is offline. So let's see. I have a couple theories about this, but it says 1 is not online, but the receive message thread and the heartbeat is working. But that means that the web server isn't responding. That's interesting. That's very interesting. Huh. Anyway, let me go back to the main menu on this and then restart it. Again, I'm not 100% sure if this is more of a me problem or if this is a deeper issue and I just run into it more frequently. Yeah. Okay, cool. That'll be cool. Looking forward to that custom image. Okay. So the scheduler is stopped, but that's because I restarted, but it is stacking. So let me go to this one and we're up to 146. So that's good, over 20 minutes. Is that right? Over 20 minutes? Yeah. And so I'm gonna wait for this to load and then I'm gonna stop it. And okay. And then this should go, it should go to idle. Yep, there we go. And I'm gonna do the same thing on this one. And so the web server is the thing that's not responding. I need to look at that. We'll shut this one off, 152 frames, so about the same. Okay, So now they're both idle, so I want to go, I will make this one go to, I'll make this one go to Pluto. Pluto, and we will pick the coordinates, and right ascension is 20 hours, 9 minutes, 51.47 seconds. Declination is not minus 23 degrees, 25 minutes, 51.2 seconds. J2000. Total exposure time, I'll do half an hour. And no light pollution filter. And just double checking the dimensions, J2000 minus 23, 25, 51.2, 20 hour. One thing I did notice earlier today, I was using trying to use the Seestar Alp software purely to image the sun, and we don't have the ability to go to the sun. So yeah, need to fix that. So let me start this. Oh, that was silly. I didn't submit the schedule. Now I need to start it. And okay. So let me go look at it. I probably didn't want to do this, but I'm doing it anyway. Just because it won't switch to stacking mode once stacking starts. But I was hoping it would actually start previewing. That's another thing. I get this task queue depth, and I need to figure out what's causing that. Task queue depth. I'm making a note. Task queue depth message. And the other one was why does the API web server go offline? And I think it might be because I'm like continuously making a request against it, and maybe something is taking a while to respond or something. But yeah, it's still thinking about it. And this task queue depth, I need to get to the bottom of that because that number will just keep going up. It says it's doing auto go to, and see, like the network is faster, so it should have started showing me an image, and I wonder if it's related to this task queue depth. So I'm going to stop. It's very frustrating. Okay. So did it do anything? Let me go. I'll switch to the, I'll go to the home and pick the schedule. And why is it, am I on the, no, I need to switch telescopes. Why isn't it? I think that's another thing related to the, that's another bug that is only in my local version. Where is the schedule? Does it delete it now when it's done? That's strange. It's very strange. So let me go back. Image, Pluto, 20 hours, 9 minutes, 21.45 seconds. Declination minus 23 degrees, 25 minutes, 51.2 seconds. J2000, J2000, 1800. And go. And start. Okay, this should start. Okay, auto go to. And 12:06. I'm looking at the logs over here just to see that it's still doing something. Plate solve succeeded. Go to operation succeeded. Says it's starting the stack. I wonder if it's going to try to do... Oh no, it started the stack. Now the problem is it won't show the stack. And that's what some of those code changes I was making were supposed to do, but there's still some work. Oh, read timeout. Huh. Read timeout. Get view state. Interesting. There was an error here in the logs where it where was it? It was trying to get the status of the telescope, and it said it timed out. It's set to 5-second timeout, so it's very strange. But otherwise it's working. It's not offline, which is good. So I'm going to actually stop this and restart it because it's not showing the stacked view. So I stop that. I hope it didn't. I wonder if that is going to mess it up. So long as it keeps saying it's stacking, then that's fine. Okay. I'm just watching stuff scrolling by. Get view state. There should be 10 stacked frames, so it should have something. But it's yeah, I may have to. I wonder if it ends up being clear tomorrow night, I might do a brief live stream and then kind of go offline and try to troubleshoot some of these code related issues, because these are kind of a bit frustrating. And it's interesting because it's getting updates, but they haven't showed up on the screen yet. It's getting stacked images from the Seestar. Who got brownies? What? Did that not? Is this not? Hold on. Guess who got brownies? I'm not going to guess. I know who got brownies. It wasn't me. But I will eat some of them, I'm sure. Why is this? Is there an issue between star and planet? No, not per se. It's just more about the it's more of it's an issue with, well, there's a few different issues. There's a few things missing. If you put it in sun or moon or planet mode, it doesn't actually go to the place. Um, if you are in star mode and it's stacking, it doesn't let you switch between preview and stacking mode. The telescope, when it switches to stacking mode, you can actually still pull the preview, and so it'll keep pulling a preview because it can. Um, and only if it already was pulling the preview. Now, if you bring it up and it hasn't done either, and it's in the telescope's in stacking mode, it'll start pulling the stack and showing that, which is why I stopped and restarted it. I'm really confused. The neighbors got it? Oh, the back end thinking on a planet. Oh. Right. I see what you're saying. No, I it's thinking it's not in planet mode. I I manually entered Pluto, the coordinates and the name. So it doesn't, the Seestar doesn't know it. As far as it knows, it's a star called planet Pluto. And the main reason I did it that way, well, partly I don't, it planet mode doesn't have a lookup. But also I don't know if, I don't think the Seestar will image Pluto, and I don't think it'll image for long enough. In any case. Yeah. Hold on a second. Yeah, so that's why it's in star mode, even though I'm trying to look up, trying to image Pluto. Oh, okay. Okay. So the neighbors got brownies, but no. I'm really confused. Yes, I'm very, very confused. I'm easily confused. I think it comes with the territory. Um, Hello, Red. How's it going? Thanks for joining on this very chaotic live stream so far. Well, chaotic for me, not that chaotic. Hey, hey, hey! Don't be ageist. Okay, so I wanted to look up where Pluto might be in the frame. So we've got, I mean, it's going to be like 15th magnitude, I think, 14th magnitude. So, okay, these stars here, and let me get rid of the grid. So, just trying to, actually, let me close that one. Just trying to see where Pluto might allegedly be in this frame. So getting a little grief here, but okay, so okay, so this triangle here is this triangle here, and then these two stars here. So Pluto must be somewhere around here. I'm not sure. Is it that faint one? Let's see. Let me see. Let's see. Oops. Let's see if we can get Pluto in here. Okay, so wait, I just lost where I was. Yeah, so it should be there. So this thing, it must be that one? I think it's that one. Oops. I think it's that one. Yeah, because this star, and then maybe it's this one. I think it's, yeah, it's one of these. I'll have to look at it more closely, but yeah. And part of what I wanted to do is, and actually, yeah, if I image this again tomorrow, I can then, I should be able to, then compare the star field. So if I go, let me just pick that. Okay. So if I look at what it's going to be like tomorrow, so Pluto's right there. And if I look at it tomorrow, yeah, so it'll be easy to see. I'll be able to, within 24 hours, be able to see that it's moved. Yeah, that must be it. This one or this one? I feel like which one would it be? Let me pause time. Okay. Let's see. Okay, that star is this star. Yeah, so this must be Pluto right there. Right there, that thing. Cool. Yeah, so yeah, I have definitely have Pluto. Swanky Gen Z personality. Yeah, well, yeah, yeah, it's yeah, so that's Pluto right there. So I'm gonna let this go for a little bit longer. This is, yeah, maybe I'll let it go to about 15 minutes. So like 90 frames. So it'll be just that much brighter. But and honestly, this is just kind of the stack that um, kind of the Graxpert um, stack. So I could definitely kind of push this further and get Pluto even uh, more visible, more definitely get it brighter in the frame. But yeah, cool. Okay, so I'm gonna leave that go for a little bit, and I've got to look at my list for other things to look at. Um, let's see. I feel like I've done plenty of Pac-Man Nebula. Um, the next thing I also had on the list was M33. Start getting some images on that one, but I don't know if it's visible yet. I don't think. Yeah, it's not going to be visible for a little bit. For maybe within an hour, it'll be up. But right now, it's behind a building, so we will skip that. The one maybe what I want to do is the Deer Lake group. Let's see. Yeah, I'll pull that one up. Actually, let me look that up. Did I end up doing a panorama of, or I mean a mosaic of that one? I did, actually. Um, okay. Yeah, so I'm gonna do that one. I might just go ahead and kick that one off. I'm doing it as a mosaic, but uh I'm not going to do it side by side because the targets are fairly small. So let's look up deer leg group, and that is plenty high in the sky. So not too high, hopefully. Let me see. Oh, that's as of right now. Yeah, so that's good. Okay, cool. We will do that. So this one is going, and let me add a split view. 5432. Okay. And we will go to schedule and import, choose file. Deer Lick group, and it's also Stevens Quintet. Wait a second, what just happened? Did I accidentally back up or did I do something else? Okay, choose Deer Lick, Stevens Quintet, import. Okay, cool. So that one is good to go. So I will start that. And yeah. Yeah, yeah, I'm gonna do M33 with the telescope that's currently imaging Pluto. Um, and then because I just kicked off this one for the Deer Luck group for a bit. So just seeing where this is now. Um, let's see. Got so this one is the one that's. Did I swap these? Did I swap them? That is interesting. So yeah, the Deer Lick group is being imaged with one, and then the Pluto one, the telescope imaging Pluto will be switched over to M33 once I've gotten maybe 20 more frames on this one. Oh, and then that's another thing I forgot to do. I forgot to change dither. So I'll have to do that on. I'll do that on the Pluto one before I kick that off. Let's see. Okay, it's still a go-to, and this is stacking. So I'm gonna wait until it's actually started stacking before viewing the live view, just because of the issue where it won't automatically pick up live view. I mean, where it won't automatically pick up the stack when in live view, unless, yeah, that's fine. But yeah, so this must be Pluto right there. Pretty cool. And it should be over here somewhere tomorrow. So that is good. Okay, so 14 more frames. And I'll move on. Let's see. All right. Oh, it claims it's stacking. I'll let it stack for a bit before, or maybe I can check the stats, see where Where is? Yeah, I need to add the schedule, the stats. Like what frame? How many? Like these stats. I should put them on that other screen so you can see how much it's actually stacked. But let me. I'll go ahead and look at it. Why not? Okay, it's already gotten up to 13 stacked frames. Interesting. Let me see. Just checking the logs to make sure there's nothing. Oh, there we go. Oh, what was the other thing I was gonna look up? There was some other targets I wanted to image, but they're not going to be visible till after midnight. Which I might not stream, and I might go ahead and image them, but I might use that as an opportunity to try to fix some of the code later tonight. Oh, okay. So this is a mosaic of the Deer Lick group and Stevens Quintet. So it's basically this and this area. And I thought I was starting with the Deer Lick group, but this must be Stevens Quintet right here. So it's not. It didn't start with the Deer Lick group. So this will be going for a while. And you're getting close to the point where I'm going to stop the Pluto image. And I need to remember to check dithering before I start M33. Yep. Let me take a sip of water here. Off camera. But yeah, getting closer. And yet it's interesting because like this is dropping some frames. Then again, this is much lower in the sky, so maybe that's part of the problem. It's Pluto's in this like Deer Lick group is higher in the sky, but I need to but Pluto is down kind of in this trench area, so it's having a lot more failed frames percentage wise. This one seems to be going pretty well. Yeah. Curious, what is the... I'm curious on the focus because I was messing around before the stream started with the focus. This is telescope 2. Okay. Yeah. And notice this came back very quickly because that change I had made where it tries to remember what it had last sent, so it doesn't have to. It doesn't go back to the loading state. It just immediately showed the image. But there's some other issues going on. Okay, we're past 90 here, so I'm gonna go ahead and stop this one. But yeah, Pluto's that one. So I'll image that again tomorrow night. Yeah. Eh, maybe. Pluto, I don't know. I think it's moving too slow for it to really make a difference. But let me stop this, and then we'll get M33 going on this one. Oh no, we can't. I can't do M33 because it's too low. What was I gonna do with that one in the meantime? Yeah, actually, I could have just kept Pluto going, but that's fine. I'll wait a little bit longer for trying to see what other targets I had that weren't mosaics that I could image in the meantime. But let me look. Let me look. I had paused time, so I need to unpause time in Stellarium. Okay. All right. So it's so close. Triangulum. So close. What other things might I want to image? M2. M15. I think I have all those. Triangulum. It's like the name. The name has risen, but the actual object itself hasn't appeared yet. What other things? There were some things in here that I tried before, but it's probably going to fail again because the conditions are just bad. So I'm going to wait until M33 is up. I had briefly looked at this supernova list, but there weren't any. All the supernovas were either too low in the sky for me, or they were. I don't know how people. I think they might be too close. The galaxy might be too close to the sun, so like they were discovered maybe a few months ago, but now they're too close to the sun. Baffle group. I mean, this is probably too. Oh, right, this one. This is like a low surface brightness galaxy. So yeah, that's out. At least in my skies with this telescope. Quasar. What's the redshift on this one? Oh, that's a low redshift. Let's see, double cluster. I've done that double cluster. Jolly Roger, I think might be too low. Fuzzy lawnmower cluster. What is this thing? What is this? This isn't even labeled. That looks interesting. What is this even? It's interesting when you run across like these random nebulosity. And some of them have names. It's just not, I just don't have that catalog turned on. So let me see if I can find the name for this thing. This one's too intensive, so I'll switch back to this view. Oh, I shut off the, nope, yep, okay. Okay, so what is this thing? Let's see. I can try to figure out what this thing even is. Oh, do I have SH2? Oh, yeah, it's an SH2. It is SH2. Oh, look at the very low surface brightness. Looks impressive in this image, but yeah, I'm not gonna be able to get that one, or not easily. SH2 188. The Shrimp Nebula. does not have an official name. It looks cool. It was discovered in 1951? What? Wow. 37 hours? Yikes. Oh, 37 hours. Oh, this was in Portal 9. It's still 37 hours of... Yeah, so I'm not going to be able to do that. Nope. If it took him 37 hours, I'm not going to be able to get that done. Okay, so back to the drawing board on that one. I'm going to turn off the SH2. So looks interesting, but not today. Not in my skies. Not in my backyard. Okay, so it's getting close, getting close. What is this one? Yeah, Starburst Galaxy. It would be interesting if something actually popped off in the Starburst Galaxy, but it happens regularly, but not yet. Not recently. Well, a few years ago, I guess. Okay, so is there anything else I want to look at while we're waiting? Actually, I should see if there's anything down here. Unfortunately, I think all the interesting things have kind of already pivoted out of view. Like they're behind the building. Like the Milky Way's over here, but unfortunately not so visible right now. Which one is this one? Summer Rose, okay. Is there anything else? Problem is I missed a lot of things because of a lot of targets because of bad weather. I'm like spinning this around weird. Okay, all right. Come on. We're getting close to M33 being up, but not quite there yet. Swimming alligator cluster. Oh, that's Wizard Nebula. Elephant's Trunk, Wizard Nebula. Very fanciful names, some of these things. Yeah, let me look at my list, see if there's anything else. Yeah, I mean, there's some things, but none of them really kind of are really interesting me at this point. Yeah. Yeah, and then I want to do the Helix Nebula, but that's not until after midnight. Because it's in that kind of that narrow area to the south. Deer Lake Group, that's in progress. Yeah, so I guess I'll just wait on this one until. I mean, I have such terrible gradients in my backyard. They're just terrible. Terrible. I mean, just like when you look at the live view, it's like it's way too light, way too bright. Yeah. Let's see, what else? Yeah, maybe some Messier catalog stuff. Let me see. I think I feel like I have most of the things that are visible at this moment from my backyard. But let me see. Let me see. Wait, not this one. It is. All right. Okay. What might I not have? M34. I feel like I have M34. Where is M34? Oh, maybe I don't have M34. Where's M71? Do I have M71? Let me look. See if let's see. Okay. All right. I have them on like a central place. I'm looking there right now to see what I might have, what I might be missing. It's thinking about it. Yeah, I need to have a better way of organizing all of the different targets that I image. How do people, what do people generally use? Do they just keep it organized on their hard drive or NAS, or is there software that people use? I haven't, like, I have some text database that I use to keep track of stuff, but it's not always convenient. Let me see. It's taking a bit of time. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Big ass hard drive. Process my local and then archive to the NAS. Yeah. I mean, I do that, but then sometimes I'm like out and about and I'm trying to remember what I have and what I don't have, and I mean, I could always log in, I guess, to my NAS remotely, but sometimes I can't, or there's some other reason I have an issue. I do have M76. Oh, I knew I had M76. Do I have M71? I have M71. Do I have M55? I don't have M55. Where is M55? Oh, I missed it. Oh well. I'll try that tomorrow. I need to add that because I haven't actually imaged that. That's so missing Messier. M55. Yeah. Yeah. So close. Frustratingly close. Oh man. Oh well. That's fine. Well, I'm going to be imaging in that area again tomorrow with Pluto. So that's fine. So let's see what else. M75. I've got M75. I have. Do I have 29? I have 29. M29. I have. Do I have 72? I don't have M72. I don't have M73. Let me see. M72, M73. So let's look at where these might be. Oh, I don't know why I haven't done that before. Like, that one's fine. That's well situated. And M73 is right next to it. Oh yeah, well, let's do that. Let's do those two. Because for some reason I haven't imaged those yet. I guess maybe like they're kind of low, and maybe, until recently they were kind of behind this building, and maybe in the evening I've been busy with other things. So before I queue up those two, let me look at other ones. M15. I don't know why I clicked on that. Let me see. Do I have M15? I have M15. M2. Do I have M2? I don't have M2. Let me make note of that. M2. M39. Do I have M39? I don't have M39. Wow. There's all kinds of objects I haven't. Pretty sure I have M52. So let me go look at where is M2, and M2's right there. So I'll just do all three of those in a row. What about M39? Okay. Yeah, I'll do all three. I'll do all four of those. And because they're clusters, they're all clusters. I don't need much time with those. I'll do like 10 minutes each, maybe. Okay, cool. So let us go to schedule. And I do like this loading status because the way it usually works. You know what? I wonder, maybe that is my problem. It's a feature I like, but maybe this is what's causing the issues. Maybe this is the me problem. That is the me problem, I bet. Yeah. That's so weird. And it says it's offline now. The real bummer about this is I could restart the software, but then it's going to mess up the mosaic that's going on over here. Nice, 7 hours of triangulum in the morning. That would be cool. It says it's idle, but it's because the API has crashed. It's see, it says they're not online. Telescope 1 and telescope 2, it says are not online. No, that can't be. Okay. Anyway, so I'm gonna stop and restart this, which is kind of annoying because I'm gonna lose the. That's fine. I'm gonna lose the deer look group thing, but okay. All right. So I'm just restarting it, and I'm gonna go ahead and queue up the schedules. Scaling the live view images. I mean, yes and no. I mean, I have it to a certain extent where it's responsive. But yeah, it's not. Yeah, I mean, it's where it kind of see how it kind of redoes it like that as you change the size of it. Yeah, it's not exactly the way I want it to be, but it's close. So I want to test it a bit more. So we have M72. The nice thing is I can use the lookup for this. And I will do this only for 10 minutes. No light pollution filter. And then I will do M73 and for 10 minutes, and then M2 for 10 minutes, and then M39. Did that? didn't change, or it did. Yeah, sorry. It was, yeah. So like the right ascension and declination have changed. So submit, and that all looks good. And I will just get that one going. That it looks better on your Android. I mean, when you say it looks better, I mean some of those mobile displays are pretty nice. Or are you talking about the layout of it? Because I mean that is one thing I changed is the way the layout works. Let me go look at where this is, and it says it's stacking already. How could that be? I would have thought it would have taken, unless it was, oh, that was the one on Pluto, so it was already kind of in the general vicinity. So let me go look at this live view. Yeah. So this is, should be M72. Yeah, I need to get to the bottom of why it sometimes has problems with the sorry, I'm looking at the logs here. That's telescope 1. Telescope 1, it's things are zipping by. Yeah, okay. So that is the stack. I wasn't 100% sure if that was the stack. But that is the stack. It's dropping a lot of frames, but that's okay. At least now I can check this one off the list. M72. And then, yeah, this one's doing pretty well. This one has a really bad ratio, but this one is doing great. 135, only 2 drop frames, and this is all azimuth, so pretty good results. Yeah, cool. Let me go look at things. So this is M and M55. I'll try again tomorrow when imaging Pluto. And so this is M72, and then it'll go M73 and M2 and M39. Cool. The layout. Yeah. I mean, I do have a different layout on mine, like where it kind of restacks it. But yeah. But I was messing around with having it kind of I mean, let me see. Yeah. Yeah, the gradients. That, yeah, they're pretty horrific. What I did is I had let me go look at the live view. See, I have a different version here where did it actually load it? See, I have this version here where it always keeps the image like about the height of the screen. So you don't, like, it's always kind of, but I don't like kind of what it's doing here where the controls end up kind of moving away. Whereas on this one, you see on the right one, it will get to the point where you have to scroll, but it always fills the width And then when it gets small enough, it changes to this vertical layout. So like if you're on your phone, um, I've thought about taking this and putting it on the bottom, but I don't know. I'm definitely open to suggestions on what people prefer. Yeah. Yeah. Let me make a note about that. Putting what's on live view. Uh yeah, task view, why does and then what was it? What? Schedule item in live view. Yeah. At one point I was like I had a field where the telescope was sending back the target name, but it doesn't consistently send it back. So I ended up dropping it from the interface. But I should just grab what's in the schedule and what's running in the schedule if there is something running in a schedule and show that. I mean that's easy enough to do. Um, I also want to add the annotations at some point because the telescope does send back annotations. Yeah, like like you can see right here in all the noise that's coming back. Um, you can see right here it has the annotation of what of NGC 7319 and NGC 7318 and NGC 7317. That's I guess yeah, that's the deer lick one. But then this other one, yeah, has the M72 and it has both names. It goes by the NGC and the M72. So it sends back those. And like I already have the code that I wrote elsewhere that'll uh, create the overlay. So I just need to port that code over. Um, yeah. Yeah, this is going well. I think the good thing is, like, because I ended up restarting um, uh, the back end, the schedule is gone. Um, but once it's kind of to the point where it would have, um, where it would have, once it's to the point where it was ready to switch panels, I can just stop this, load the schedule, which I saved in a file, and then tell it to just run the second panel. So I'll do that. This one should go, I said 10 minutes, right? So it'll do, um, it'll do 60 frames. This, that's the sigh of resignation. Says it's offline, which is not correct. And my concern is, oh, but it came back online. Yeah, because sometimes it goes in that offline state and it doesn't come back. So I'm not sure why. Man, the drops, the number of drops on this one. Actually, it was funny, or it's funny because I said, oh, it's going to be 60 frames, but that's not right. I said 600 seconds. So it's already gone for over 8 minutes. So maybe when it gets to about 10 minutes, it'll stop and move on to the next target. Yeah. Yeah. So that's good. I'm going to take a sip of water. Yeah. So I mean, both displays, they seem relatively up to date. I mean, I've had other stability issues with the software, but the network's been great. Hi, True Freedom. Good evening. Thanks for joining. So instead of one 7-hour session, I did 7 consecutive 1-hour sessions with autofocus on. Was that, what was that? Was that to test the autofocus or what was that? What was that for? Was it to stress test the autofocusing? I'm just kind of curious. Um, yeah, so I, I I definitely need to finish up the network. Okay, just for grants more than anything. Okay. Well, no, but it's also good to test out the autofocus because there had been some since there was a bug with it. Um, let's see. Oh, yeah. So this was done. So now it should be on M73, which is right next door. So that should start one drop frame. That's off to a inauspicious start. Oh, interesting. The bugs seems to be related to newer firmwares. What was the autofocus bug exactly? Or how did it manifest itself? Like a lot of this stuff gets discussed on Discord and I don't always unfortunately keep up to date on all of it. Okay, so finally loaded something here. Okay. Image is not a numpy. Ugh. I was just looking at Discord about a yeah, there's still some things that need to be hardened in the code to make it to keep it from failing. Cool. All right. Can never find the WC for annotations after plate solving with serial in the fit file. Sorry, I'm just looking at what's going on here. Okay, cool. This is in a good state. Let me see. I have like an old version of serial. I have the new version, but let me look at the old version. Serial, is it serial release? Because I also have like the beta version of it, or alpha version. Apparently if they use the autofocus scheduled item or enabled autofocus, it errored out in an infinite loop. Oh, that's lovely. That's lovely. But it makes sense to run it long time on one target is certain better than to restart than to keep going. Huh. You know, this isn't related, but I just remembered I forgot to change the dither settings. It's also supposed to get cool tonight. Not cooler here, but definitely not cool. But like that, cool fronts tend to like Wiley site is a couple hundred miles north of here, and somewhere between there and here, a lot of cold fronts kind of fizzle out. It's always very disappointing because I'll see them go through the Dallas area, and everybody in Houston's like, "Oh yeah, it's going to make it here." Nope, it ends up kind of fizzling out, or yeah. So Cyril, let me see where I am here. Let me change to, do I even have astrophotos? I was just looking at something the other day where what image was I using for that? I'm looking for, oh, let's see. Okay. Yeah, is this the one I want to use? But, let me, oops. I love it when I tried to maximize it and it ended up going to the other window. Okay. Just resizing this. Wow, 57 degrees for a low, or 14 freedom units. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, no, it's not nearly. It's like, I think it's supposed to get down to 68 here Fahrenheit. Like, not nearly that cool. Yeah, like, what is it? What is the temperature here right now? Yeah, it's only supposed to get down to, wait. It's supposed to get down to, yeah, 69 tonight. So, not nearly that nice. So, True Freedom, you were saying the WCS overlay after plate solving. I just did this the other day. This is just a stacked file I had handy, and this is the normal version. Is it this? Oh yeah, yeah. So I must have already plate solved this one. Is this even? Yeah, this is 1.23. So this button will do it, but it's because this one's already plate solved. But let me see. I actually have this one that a kind viewer sent me. Wait, why did my... Oh, that's interesting. It says my computer lost its connection again. Oh, that's fine. But if the streaming's... I have an indicator over there that indicates the streaming's still working, so I'll just go with it. Let me see. So, well, we won't pay attention to the color. So this doesn't have, the button isn't here. So I went like this, and then was it pick a star? No. What was it? Where is it in? I know I've done it more in the new version. Was there I thought there was something. I feel like my brain's not working correctly. There should be something for, oh right, it was under star processing? No. Extraction. Geometry. Like, it actually says plate solve on the new version. Let me see why my network's gone down. Oh, that's interesting. It basically disconnected me from the Wi-Fi. So let me reconnect. This is the advantage of not live streaming from the computer you're using on the live stream. So even if this computer rebooted, the stream wouldn't go down, which is handy. Okay, so Okay. Let's see. Stream's having a little bit of, my local version's having a little bit of problems here. Let me, why don't I have the chat? Okay. Where did the chat go? That's great. Because I can see, but then the chat is like invisible. So let me go look in here. Always love that. It's like I'm not having problem. It is kind of funny. I'm not having problems with my Seestars. I'm having problems with the Seestar software, and I'm having problems with my network on this computer. Pop out chat. Okay, good, great. That was painful. Okay, now I can see the chat again. Okay, cool. Can't see where the info is in the fit file. Right. Oh, okay. Color calibration. Under color calibration. Oh, right. Yeah. Because there's an explicit photometric force downsample. Will this actually do it? It's thinking. Okay, cool. So it was able to photometrically color calibrate. And then is it this one? Yeah. So this one, yeah. I mean, that's at least for this target. Now, if it doesn't photometrically color calibrate, then that's more of a problem. But it's this one here. What does this one do? So show celestial grid. Oh, okay, that's interesting. So it shows the celestial grid, but yeah, this shows the overlay. But yeah, I mean, whenever I've done that, yeah, and then in the new version of Cyril, or the alpha version of Cyril, let me pull that up. It's similar, but I think there was an explicit. So this is the alpha version. There we go. So if I open this and then pick the same image and go to auto stretch, I think it was just was it tools? Yeah. So it has image plate solver. So you can just run the plate solver by itself without changing the color calibration. And then once you do that, then you can pull up the overlay. Yeah, I'm not actually sure where in the fit header the annotation is stored. But let me see. I have, let me see. Got a bunch of tabs open over here, so trying to close out some things and okay. Let me see. Do I actually have the thing that lets me inspect it? Raw data. It was the M16 one that has the plate solving. So I thought I had, I'm just trying to, yeah, I thought I had a utility that shows the, the fits header, but actually maybe, let me open, actually let me, this is the, let me close this version and go back to the non, to this version. So if I go, let me open up the M16 one that should have the information in it. Was there? I thought there was a way to view that in here, but maybe not. Yeah, I mean, there's, oh, a fits header right here. Okay. It says M16. Huh. Actually, so let me go open the other one. This one, do the same thing. Color calibrate. And okay. And I'm going to save this out. Okay. So we've got two NGC targets here. Let's save it out. What do you call it? Solved. Okay. Save that. Save anyway, sure, whenever. I haven't stretched it. I know what I'm doing. Maybe. Fits header. Okay. Let me look at this. Let me look at this off. Just looking at, yeah, I don't see anything. I don't see anything in the fits header that actually includes the targets in this case. So maybe it looks it up. Nice. Nice. Speaking of locked, why are these both saying idle? Does that mean my API is having issues again? Okay, so now claims both are offline, which is very frustrating. So I don't know how far this one got, so I'm going to restart the API. I really need to get to the bottom of this. Again, I don't know if this is a me problem. Feels like it's a me problem. Okay. It's only been going 7 minutes. This one's been going almost an hour. Speaking of locked, like, look at this. Oh, of course it failed, but this one wasn't too shabby. I mean, it was 255 frames and only a handful of rejected frames. And this is with, like, this is not equatorial mode. This is alt azimuth. Of course, the API is having problems again. And so I don't even know what target this is on. Since I had to restart the schedule now, I don't know which one this is. it's a globular, so it must be the, right, it must be the third one that it was doing. But yeah, look at this, 260 frames and only 3 dropped. Like, that's not too shabby at all, really. But but then again, look at the bad ratio here. 57 minutes and only 262. It's because the dither, I have a feeling it's because the dither is, yeah. Yeah, yeah, the dark frame issue. Yeah, no, that Dragons of Era is a neat target. Um, so let's see. Is it still having issues? Okay, it's not. It's just having problems. But this is Stephen's quintet here. This is turning out nicely. But this is which one was that? Yeah, I solved. Yeah, yeah, maybe a solved image. Maybe it's pulling the annotations. Yeah, I mean the code is uh what is it? Um it's yeah. If you wanna dig through Cyril's Cyril's code, there it is. I dropped it in the chat. Um, yeah, maybe it. Yeah, I didn't see in the fits header unless there's some non-standard header it's using. Yeah, maybe it just looks it up. Okay, so so this maybe I'll let this. Yeah, I'll stop this soon and do the rest of the mosaic. This is which one is this? I think this is M2. It's not M39. That's an open cluster, so must be M2. Oh, that's, could that be M2? Must be M2. I mean, claims it's behind, but maybe it's not. In any case, I'm going to stop this one. And actually, I'm going to stop this one too. And I'm going to restart the Deerlick group over here, but only do one of the panels. And then, although how am I going to do that? I'm going to have to manually enter that, I think. But this one I'm going to do M33. Oops, M33, image, M33. And I'm going to do it for an hour. That was more than an hour, but I'm not going to actually, I'm not necessarily going to keep the stream going for an hour, but I'm definitely going to start it for an hour. And then I'm going to start this. Lots of updates on Cyril. I should look at that. GitLab, lab Cyril. But first, I want to do the Deerlick group here, get that thing going. So let me look up 198 files. Wow. Let me see. Astrophotos, Deerlick. Okay. I named it. So I'm going to enter this all manually from the CSV I have. And it is right ascension, and I have one panel, and then the declination is this, and then 2 and 50% overlap. And I'm going to do the second panel, J2000, 5400 seconds. And use light pollution filter, no. Do I want to change the dither before I kick this off? I think I do. Let me go switch to this telescope, go to commands, no, command settings. And there's now the ability to turn these things on at startup. Oh. That's weird. Dither is 10. I'll change it to 15. Stack dither. Let's see what other things saves. Okay, fine. I'll do that. And then I'll go back to the other telescope. And I will go to see what the status is. And telescope 1 is stacking. So go view the live. Oh, 10 stack frames, no rejects. Okay. So this one, I have not submitted that one. And then I'll start that one. And we'll let that get going. So that should do the second panel of the Deer Lake mosaic. Rebuilding your Cyril. Yeah, so now I'm curious. Oh, and we can already see some of M33 that was unintentionally rhyming. Actually, let me look at the. Okay. So let's see what they've done here. I'm used to GitHub, so GitLab's slightly different layout. So fix merge master unused. Actually, let me look at the release notes. See what they. Was it? Is it news? Changelog. Okay. Added support. Actually, I wonder if I could fixed. I wonder if I could. How can I view? Let me go back. Actually, let me go changelog. And then history. And let's go back to how can I do this from here? Let me look at the code. I have a copy checked out here. How old is the code? Oh, I have a version from June. Yikes. Let's see. Okay. Let's Let's see, changelog. Okay. Fix the bug. Added Graxpert and follow-up bug fix. Added ability to resample maximum dimension and preview JPEG file size. Optimized and added curves. Wait. Let me look at this. I mean, was it changelog I'm looking at? Huh. Added curves, fixed GHT. Oh, is it down here? Yeah, okay, so these are the new things. Added curves transformation tool, made reset buttons, reset all GUI elements, fixed GAT, and for sharing, read and compare checksum, block certain processes, fix the bug and histogram, check, yeah, some bug fixes and some other refinements it looks like. So how hard would it be to add yeah. Was it, I'm curious if it's the video. I think it was. Is it Dylan O'Donnell are you talking about? Because I haven't looked at that. I haven't looked at that video yet. But I mean, it depends. I guess if there's a library out there that does it already. Yeah, okay. Yeah, Dylan O'Donnell. Actually, let me see. SNR. He wrote it in Python. Okay. Well, if it's in Python, we can I mean, that's what we have, so I'll have to watch the video and see what he did. This one, the why SNR is misunderstood. Stop it. Don't need an ad. Okay. I'll have to watch the video. I'll have to watch that because I'm curious. I mean, there's some other things that would be nice to add. I mean, we have, like, right now it's just doing a simple it's just doing a simple stretch based on the Graxpert code. I had started looking at gradient removal and using actually the Graxpert code as well for that as well, not the AI gradient removal, but the kind of their old gradient removal code. So I had started looking at that, but I had moved some of the code over, but I haven't checked it in yet. And then I'd also looked at noise reduction code, and OpenCV is the library that's used by that we're using internally, and it had an SNR, a noise reduction function, but I got it working, but I didn't like the result. It, like, I had applied it to the Veil Nebula, and there was a lot of background noise on the kind of the background, the the sky, the dark part of the image with the stars, there was a lot of graininess, and then there was some on the veil itself, and it reduced, it kind of smoothed the noise on the veil, but it didn't do anything, or didn't do as much on the part that I actually wanted it to smooth out a bit more, which was the kind of the background. Um, and uh, I know Kai had talked. He'd mentioned some things he wanted to do. One of them he had mentioned is calculating the was it um, the some of the some other things like the what was it, the F, what is it, did not mean to do that, F, like the what is it, the FWHM, is that it? Yeah, the full width half max. Like he'd mentioned like several things we could add calculations for, and SNR would be an interesting one to add. Um, so yeah, another thing to write down. Um, actually, yeah. Well, yeah, maybe not. But let me make a note of that. Um, uh, what do you call it? Live view enhancements. Um, number of things have been discussed that we could add to live view, including both image enhancement related and image enhancement related functions and analysis. What do we call it? Noise reduction, gradient removal, and SNR calculation. Yeah, yeah. I need to look at that. Because I think that would be kind of a neat value add. I mean, especially because I mean the Seestar ALP software is handy just from a pure automation point of view, but there's definitely people who are using it for um, more advanced things. Uh, I mean, a lot of people are using it for more advanced things, but I was just thinking of like the photometry stuff that people are doing with it, and which like Kai does with it, and just all the other things. Um, transient, looking for transients and stuff. Um, yeah, yeah, yeah. No, so I'm I'm sure there's plenty of other things, but I'm gonna add that. Label it to GUI. All right. But yeah, no, that's a good idea. And I had seen that. I haven't watched the video, but I had seen it pop up on my feed recently, and I may have opened it up to go watch it, but I haven't watched it yet. Um, let's see. Yeah. So that's cool. Let's see where this is. Where did I leave this? Okay, so this is going. See, only one drop frame. That's good. And let's see. This is running. Let's go look at this live, see how this goes. Oh, wow, this one's doing well too, 60 frames. and 0 dropped. And what's interesting is it was really windy earlier today, so I was actually afraid I would get much worse results. Um, well, besides the fact that I just have abysmal gradients, but the fact it's not dropping many images is nice. That's pretty good. Although that the drop count just went up over there, but yeah, SNR is useful for deconvolution. Yeah, there's, and I think like I know Kai has had a bunch of ideas on things we could do. Like he seemed very excited about kind of the possibilities of things we could add to the live view. Um, yeah, and actually like there's some things that the Seestar that I've thought about, like when you're like doing a video of like the sun, it ends up using a lot of space on the Seestar. And I was thinking we wouldn't have to do that. Like if the connection was reasonably solid, you could just kind of record it locally. And I'd actually thought about kind of adding the ability to do local recording. Because there's times where I want to do, like a lot of times what happens is I'll want to, especially for the sun, I want to kick off a video and just let it go for a while, like a few hours. Um, or yeah, not necessarily go for a few hours. Yeah. 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 Anyway, that's another thing. 40 minutes, 192 frames, 0 drops. That's cool. But, but I think it's pretty cool that I'm having very low drops and I'm running alt azimuth. Um, like that's kind of surprising to me that it's dropping so little. Um, but yeah, this is, besides the issues I've had with the software itself, which might be related to the changes I've been making. Yeah, video is limited. Yeah, and it's limited because of the file size and yeah, and yeah, so I was thinking, well, like one of the things I enjoy doing is taking video of things going across the sun like a plane. Um, and sometimes it requires a bit of monitoring to watch it and then start recording when I know a plane's flight path is about to go across the sun. Um, but it would be, I could automate that if I was just kept the video streaming to my computer. I could do some stuff locally on it then. Well, what I was thinking, I mean, it wouldn't help with like raw video, but when you're streaming the video, like we get the stream and we get every frame theoretically if the connection's good. And so basically I could, like the examples they have, they just save the video out. I mean, actually you wouldn't even have to do it in the app. Like I think you could do it from FFmpeg, which is basically the code that a lot of those libraries are using under the hood. And so you should be able to just, yeah, basically you just grab the stream and just save it locally. Like you're not actually triggering recording on the Seestar itself. You're just pulling down the video, like you're just streaming the video and saving it. At least that's what I was thinking of doing. Um, yeah. Um, yeah, it's going relatively smoothly, which is good. Oh, what time? It's yeah. Let me check something. Yeah, so one of the other targets I wanted to image, is it visible from my backyard yet? It might be. NGC 7293. Almost. Auto stopping the video. Well, at least the if you have it in solar mode and you like it's set to live, like when you turn on live view on the Seestar, it's in live view. I mean it's in live view mode everywhere. So even if you fire up the app, the Seestar app, it'll just switch into live view mode because it's like turned on the telescope itself. And so like our live view would just be pulling down the RTSP stream. Um, so it is imaging. I mean, it's got the stream on. Like if you don't have the app up, it's still running. Um, Not that it couldn't time out, but it now things like I was running it that way earlier. I wasn't saving the stream, but it was and I turned on planet tracking, object tracking, and so it was kind of keeping the sun centered. Um, well, and that's where I was saying like it would be if you had a solid connection and it wouldn't be the raw quality. Like that is something else, and I don't know that there's a way to get that off the telescope. Although that is something maybe to look into. Yeah. Yeah, live view and record video. That's what I was just thinking. I mean, for the things I want to do, that would suffice. Yeah. I want to try to get some image time on the Helix Nebula, but maybe that'll have to wait for another night because since I'm since I'm already imaging these two and I want to keep these going for a while. Um, yeah, these are actually doing what like this has happened with the Deerlick group before. I mean, I've gotten this kind of this kind of drop rate before where it's just barely dropping anything. Yeah, not complaining. Um, it's actually good. Um, yeah. Honestly, I'm thinking of since I'm gonna probably keep these running, both of these running for at least half an hour or more. I'm thinking of kind of leaving it at that for the evening. Um, I am planning on doing a live stream tomorrow, if assuming the conditions cooperate. Hopefully, I'll have I might have my intro outro fixed by then. Um, that's interesting. It claims that there's going to be some clouds rolling in here, but tomorrow evening looks good. Maybe even Monday. Like originally it was showing clouds earlier on Monday, but now it's kind of drifted back. And if this just drifts a few more hours back, then maybe I'll even have a chance of doing a live stream on Monday, but we'll see. Um, Let me see what the live view is looking like. Um, there it is. Uh, yeah, yeah. When you streamed to Discord, that wasn't. I don't know if the white banding is. I no, it's not from a neighbor. Like which one is this? The one that's banding. that's banding badly is, they're both banding badly, but this one is banding particularly badly. Um, and where is this one? This one is facing, so this is telescope 2, which is this one. And I think it's pointing that way, like up. Yeah, no, I don't think that's a neighbor's house, but it could be. Like I live near a major, like about half a mile from a major freeway, and they have these enormous lights. And I wonder if it's one of them, because those lights are always there. Like I always get that effect. Um, so maybe that's what's causing it. But yeah, it's terrible grades. The good thing is the software usually cleans it up pretty well. I'm not applying an update right now. Um, but yeah, there's so much junk in the sky here. It's kind of ridiculous. Yeah, okay. I'll try to get an hour of on M33. I'll leave it run for a while. I'm not going to bed anytime soon. It's just I I'm I'm hungry and I think I want to go have a snack. Yeah. Yeah, some of the images as well. And then of course sometimes I wonder how much of it might be the telescope itself and stuff, but I think it's just the bad, like I mean, like like the sky, it looks ridiculous. It's like so light. Um and the problem is if I've adjusted the exposure on this all sky camera, because if I don't, like you don't see anything. And so for me to even get a few little stars in there, the sky starts looking blue. It's just, and the moon's not even up. Like that's a ridiculous thing. But I mean, when I mean like like Bortle 9, I was looking at New Mexico earlier. Um but yeah, Bortle 9, like when it's white and you're in the middle of this white, like I'm like in central Houston, like it's just like it's terrible, like all over this area. Yeah, like look at this artificial brightness. It's just ridiculous. Like you go to these areas where, say, out here where it's Bortle 5, and it says artificial brightness is, whatever this micro candela per meter squared or whatever that is. It's 600. But in Houston it's like 10,000, almost 12,000. Like it's just crazy. It's like it's so bad. And this SQM is like 17 it claims, but I swear I've measured it not with like a calibrated instrument, but I was getting like 16 and a half magnitude or something ridiculous. It was just bad. Very, very bad. Yeah. Yeah. So that's what I have to deal with. So I get all kinds of weird gradients and stuff, and then the sky will be hazy on top of it, like tonight. It's not too hazy, but like, yeah, transparency and seeing below average. Yeah, it's bad. That's why the fronts, I look forward to those because those tend to blow a lot of the junk out of the air and kind of dry things up, and so we'll get some, above average seeing or even excellent seeing, but like we did in the spring, um, after some fronts came through. But like right now, it's just junk. And then and then like actually this is promising. Friday the 13th might actually be a good, maybe even Sunday, but we'll see. Because right now we have what is it? We have, what was it? No, wrong link. Having a problem typing. This one. Like, this is going to start messing with us. So yeah. We might get a few more inches of rain. So yeah, fun. I mean, the good thing is we don't have drought conditions right now. But anyway, yeah, so I think I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna, well, these are both, let me see, both of these are showing API offline. The good thing is they're not, I can restart this without messing it up. Without messing up the schedule, because they're not gonna run anything else. I mean, there's not any other items that they're gonna run. So, let's see. This one's up to half an hour. Yeah, so I'll run it for at least another half an hour, 45 minutes for M33. It's kind of almost embarrassing how bad it is, but that's okay. Anyhow, yeah, so thanks for joining. I think I'm going to leave it at this. I don't have my fancy outro, so when I end the stream, it's just going to end. But yeah, hopefully I'll stream for a couple hours tomorrow night. Not going to run it too late because end of the week, Sunday night, but yeah, thanks for joining, and sorry for a bit of the chaos, but hopefully I'll get a chance to fix some of these bugs, and things will go more smoothly next time. If not next time, though, following time. Yeah, it's, yeah, and I get some, and then you throw in field rotation, and I get some really truly horrific gradients in the image. Yeah. Okay. Okay, cool. Yeah, so thanks for joining, and we will see. I'll chat later. Or chat later. Thanks for joining, and hopefully I'll see you in the next stream. Have a good night, and clear skies.